Hello again everybody, and for one last time, welcome back to Celeste. Well, it's the last time if you watch this after the speedrun, otherwise this will be the next to last time, or if you're not gonna watch it, this is the last time. In any case, it doesn't matter. There's just one more thing left to do, but before we do that one more thing, there's something I want to try out. Let's head into Chapter 1A. This right here is a golden strawberry. We have to carry it all the way to the end of the level to earn it. And if we die on our way there, we will go back to the start of the level, have to pick up the strawberry again and try again. If we still want to get it, of course, that is. But you know, I'm also collecting other strawberries along the path, because I don't actually intend to go all the way to the end. I will just, you know, collect a lot of strawberries here. Because the thing is, and this is not something that you probably would notice playing regularly. Well, you would notice one thing. You get 1,000 points, quote-unquote, points, for, like, collecting one strawberry and earning it. But if you select two at the same time, you actually get 2,000 points for the second one, so 3,000 points total. So for the third you get 3,000, for the fourth you get 4,000, for the fifth you get, you know, 5,000, and for the sixth you get a 1-up. Now, if we jump into the spikes, will we start at the start of the room or at the start of the chapter? Well, see, that's what I want to know. If the 1-up actually does anything. I think it would have been a nice gag if it just respawned at the start of the room with a golden strawberry, but whatever. Can't have everything, I suppose. Let's head right into the thick of things, though. This right here, my friends, is a seaside. And seasides are, by a fair margin, probably the most difficult challenges in the game. But they are also incredibly short. They are all just 3 screens long, and the first 2 screens are fairly manageable in their length, and the third is usually a fair bit longer, and the later B-sides actually escalate quite a bit here. They have quite the long screens. However, due to them being relatively short, actually getting a gold strawberry in the C-sides is not as hard than, you know, getting one in a lot of the B-sides, because B-sides tend to be very long. At times longer than just the main games. Well, main games. I should say the A-sides. But yeah, they're sometimes longer than those. But still, I think if you actually stick with the game, if you just see it through to the end, the C-sides will be some of the very best levels that you'll play. Of course, you will have to get good, so to speak, first, because these levels are, as mentioned, incredibly difficult. And you could see it right there at the end of the screen. There was a golden heart. Now, this heart of gold is what we collect here to end the level, instead of, you know, the red heart from the B-sides, or of course the optional blue hearts from the A-sides. These golden hearts, they don't actually count for the poem screen, they don't add anything to it, but they are visible on our game file as additional, you know, golden hearts. And because they aren't on the poem screen, they don't actually have names. But, you know, that's not too disappointing, actually. After all, we have 16 hearts already. These are 17th, but, you know. Let's head on. This is, well, you know how much I love this gimmick, yeah? So this is, almost my favorite seaside. There is one that I like better, and it might come as a surprise to some. It's not Chapter 3. Not that kind of surprise. I've actually since cleared this B-side carrying that golden strawberry to the end. It wasn't even that bad. But oh boy, this screen, it's just so good. Look at this. Just get to sip and fly around, just like you've never done it before. And oh yeah, what you need to do is to hold on to these dream blocks as you exit them. This isn't something you had to do until, well, this level. Otherwise you'll be able to clear it. But hey, just 51 seconds, and if I didn't stand around just looking at the heart for a bit, it would have been like 45 or something. And oh boy, Chapter 3. Now this screen makes a lot of people just turn around and walk a different way. But it's half as bad, just gotta get into the flow of things. And this is actually my second attempt at this seaside for this LP, mainly because, well, the first one got interrupted due to my mom calling me on the phone because it was my birthday and she would probably feel bad if she didn't talk to me that one time in the year. Except of course Christmas. But hey, this is not about my personal life. This is about Oshiro chasing us yet another time. And I just encourage you to check out the timer. Mainly to see how many deaths I get out in between two attempts. Two visible attempts, it is. Because the thing is, I cut way less deaths here. Mainly for the A and B sides, I had to cut out more because they're longer levels, and I didn't want to go on forever. But here I can afford to show a bit more. However, some levels take a bit longer, and this is actually the B-side that took me the second longest, I think. Because we're at 10 minutes now. We just skipped like 9 minutes. More or less. Yeah, this is a very difficult one. I make it seem probably a bit more difficult than it is at this point, because in my practice attempt I actually cleared it way faster. Then again, this happened with most B-sides, or as C-sides. Like the one I did actually better in was actually Chapter 2. And hey, that's it, our third C-side already. The first time around, this probably took me closer to 30 minutes, 40. And oh yes, what you gotta do here is use the momentum from the bubble, not your dash, to do an up dash jump. And this room is great. Yeah, it kind of is. I mainly think it's great because it's incredibly difficult and yet I somehow managed it first try because I'm a fucking god. Don't tell anybody though. Just admiring the remix again. It's just, I don't know, I like it. Some might think it gets a bit crowded once it fully builds, but I like it that way. And this screen is also incredibly fun. There's just one thing about that I'm not too fond of. Actually, no. That doesn't happen in this. It happens in the B-side. Haha. Well, there's a similar room in the B-side. I confused the two. Because in the B-side, the wind stops partway through your jumps here, which actually finally makes it more difficult in the last section here. And a lot of these screens I clear in ways that are not exactly the intended path, like this one. There's other ones too, so far, that I've cleared in ways that are not, you know, the original intended path. But hey, I mainly do this because I think this way is easier, but what you're supposed to do is collect the crystal and then do another up dash jump on the next block. To think of it might have been easier in the end, but well, at least you can show off something that looks fancy, I guess. I'm not actually sure if this way is faster or not, but it doesn't even matter. And alright, this screen here is really cool, because you have to punch yourself with this block. I'm just screwing it up repeatedly. Well, here we go. This is quite the screen. It demands quite a bit more of you than the previous final screens. Mainly because, well, see, with these bubbles you go at kind of a fixed speed, and you have to do an up dash jump on those blocks. And if you go a little too late, you'll fall to your death. And if you go a little too early, you will bonk your head on the, you know, ceiling and probably just kind of die. It'll happen, trust me. Or that'll happen too. Yeah, other than that, this is a really cool screen, and it looks really cool when it's just, you know, done. It's one of those screens. Overall, I really like these seasides. But you'll have to first play the game enough to actually get accustomed to the things that you need to do to clear these things. Because where the up dash jump was like a thing you learn at the end of the B-sides, well, in Chapter 7 of the B-sides, it's almost the end though, you have to use it all the time here. And there is another mechanic that you learn at the end of the C-sides. The very final challenge. I spoiled it already, but in case you forgot, I'm gonna mention it again. By spoiled it already, I mean I spoiled it in like the first video. And our 5th Heart of Gold. Isn't that neat? Well, the Chapter 7 seaside is, according to most of the easier ones, really I like it a lot, mainly because I like these blocks. I also like the warble 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 blocks. They make an appearance too. But mainly these bumper blocks, they're hilarious. Now this screen here is actually more difficult than it looks. And they say, hey, I like these rooms where you fall a lot. And that's still true. But out of all the falling rooms, this is without a doubt the hardest. It's not that bad, it's only the 2nd room of the seaside after all. The 3rd room is where it's all about. But we will see that shortly, of course. There's little that can hold us back now. And this 3rd screen is a fairly unique one in the sense that, well, halfway through, right here by the 2nd viewfinder, you get a checkpoint. Which is kinda odd, because while this first part is really difficult, it's more difficult to figure out what to do than it is to actually pull it off. Which isn't to say it's easy to pull off, but once you got it down, you can do it more or less consistently. At least in my case. Well, almost first try. Almost first try. Sometimes you just are a little off center. And then you just hop into spikes. Good shit. But hey. And yeah, what I did there is to get more height, I jump up at the wall and then just jump again. That we get a bit more height. I don't know why that is exactly, but that's just how it is. Now, out of all of the seasides, the screen that killed me the most on my first attempt, I say like, on the first attempt I will only have died once because the attempt's over after death, but you know what I mean. My first time playing through this game, the 3rd screen of Chapter 7C, aka this chapter, is the one that killed me the most. And it is in fact the next screen we will encounter. I died 707 times during it, just to build up a little. Let's have a good look. Good long look. Oh yes. Well, I said I died 707 times my first time through. Not necessarily only the screen, in the chapter in general, but until before that chapter I died like 4,500 times or so, and after it, of course, it was over 5,000. Just give you an idea of how big of a chunk the deaths of this chapter made up of my total death count. This always happens to me, where I go through the screen a couple times, get fairly far, and then I just die on the first dash. It just happens sometimes. Like so. It doesn't need to happen. It's not that hard to avoid, but sometimes it just happens. 3 times in a row. I really love this room. While it did kill me over 700 times, once I beat it, just imagine beating it. Just imagine. You will feel like the fucking king or queen or whatever of the mountain. You're the entity of this place if you can beat this room. It is, in my opinion, well, not necessarily the hardest room of the game, but probably the hardest room of the game. Probably. It most definitely is the room I died the most on. Ooh, look at this. Not even mad. Getting more and more consistent while getting through this room made me learn so many small things about how each of these mechanics worked for some reason. Tiny little things, and now going through them, I relearned them. Because I forgot them. You don't need them for anything but this room, but you need to like know every nuance, every little trick there is to navigating this particular type of space to actually get through it. And there were times when I just struggled with the first few jumps here. Like, I didn't get as far as I am now. It took me many a death until I made it this far. But I really would not have it any other way. This is probably my favorite challenge of the game. Mainly because of how it made me feel when I finally managed to get through it. And you know, my practice run went a little bit better. A lot better. But I'm glad that I die so much here because well, I think it's just really necessary to show all of the different ways, or a lot of the different ways you can fail here, because there's so many things that can go wrong. So many things that might at first appear like they're out of your control, but they are not. Like the jump over this big wall of spikes, I thought for a while it was kind of random, it was too hard, but eventually just I did it. And was a really simple solution to the quote-unquote puzzle. And over again here again. This is always where shit gets real. You know, that moment just there would have been the perfect end to the game. But as we know, there's more, because there's also the core. Now, it wouldn't have hurt anyone to put this at the end of the core, but, you know, after what would be a pretty great end point, let's just continue! Only 24 deaths. showed you almost all of those too. Well, I did kind of a good chunk, but hey. They are time costly, very time costly. But yeah, I said that the third screen was the hardest one, but that might not be entirely accurate. And yes, you need every single crystal heart, including the ones from the B and C sides to enter here. Except, of course, the final one. And this is where we learn the hyper dash. Now, this is more consistent normally. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here, to be quite honest. Just holding the jump button should do it, which is what I did all those times. I'm not sure, maybe I did something wrong, doesn't matter. But yeah, this here isn't even the third screen, just the second. It's already pretty decently long. Not as long, of course, as the third one of Chapter 7C, but it's a good room. Now here we go. Let's soak this in. Yeah, in terms of distance, this room certainly seems longer than the Chapter 7C seaside, but you know, there's a lot of ways to kind of rapidly traverse here. And oh yeah, since I've decided that, yeah, my practice runs usually go better, I decided not to have a practice run here. This is just me playing this for the first time since, well, the first time I played this. So the second time. Because I didn't actually do any of these seasides, you know, a second or third time even before this LP. And I find it very impressive that I'm going through them so relatively speaking easily. Mainly because, again, my first go around, I had so many deaths. Like 7C was 707. 8C was, I don't remember, like 380, I think. Considerably less. If you look at this room, and you look at the other room, that which is cleared, this might seem weird, because this should technically be more difficult, but after what you just did, it kind of seems tame almost. Which it isn't. It's very hard. But comparatively speaking, almost kind of easy. And still, I struggle more with this here than with the seaside for Chapter 7. I do really like this level as well. It's just that the 7C third room just, it's something special. Something that this can't quite match. Maybe it's because it's not constantly demanding as much precision with kind of falling through loads and loads of spikes. I mean, this here, this is basically nothing. Look at this, just some spikes here or there, who cares? And this section at the end is incredibly easy to screw up. You need to purposefully slow yourself down in order to get it. Imagine dying to the last hyper dash. I did that before. When I did this for the first time ever. That was frustrating. This run, however, of the Seasides was very fun. So that's it. We've cleared almost all the challenges the game has to offer. I'm not going to show the gold strawberries because I would essentially be like showing the regular levels again, which we've seen already. No need to see them again. There's also a unique winged golden strawberry in chapter 1 if you manage to go through it without dashes. It's very difficult. I've given it a fair try like a month ago or so, and decided, okay, I can probably do this, but I don't wanna. Maybe I will eventually, but for this LP I won't, because it's just a neat little extra thing. I just kinda, I don't care enough. I think I've done enough. The Seasides, they're awesome. They're really fun, unique challenges. They're so good, and yeah, just yeah. Of course, the game as a whole is incredibly great. Yep, we now got a gold heart stamp as well, which means we've completed all the Seasides. So let's look at the credits once more. This is actually different than the credits you get after the end of chapter 7. I mean, the people credited and what they're credited for is the same, but you know, like most of my LPs are kind of passion projects. Like, I LP'd the Souls games because I'm a huge fan of the series. I have LP'd Demon's Crest because it's a game I remember fondly from my childhood, and same for Star Tropics, and now this game. It's just, you know, something I feel is really special. It's an incredibly fun platformer. It has a really interesting, really good story, just something you wouldn't expect from a platformer, handling a rather delicate subject matter really well. And then for those who really just want more game, there is indeed more game. The only thing that could just make this game go on forever would be like a level editor, but that would also mean plenty of shitty levels by people who don't know what they're doing. So I'm happy with what we got here, very happy. You could probably tell by the time I went through the 7 Seaside how I gushed about that final room. Yeah, that's my feelings on the game. It's good. Very good. And I recommend you play it yourself, even if maybe the challenges, even like from the A side, seem daunting. I've seen people be scared away from those as well. Like, if you really don't think you can handle that stuff and don't want to deal with assist mode, then that's fair. I'm not gonna judge you for that. But it's really kind of a game I want people to play. And it's also part of the reason why, not just in this LP, but all of my Let's Plays, I encourage people to abandon my LP for the sake of playing the game. And judging by the thread, some people have actually purchased a copy because of the LP, which I am very happy with. I didn't quite count, but it's like 3 people total, maybe 4, I don't know. Maybe I'm overestimating here. But the thing is, just having somebody just buy the game because of my LP, that's just kind of the biggest endorsement I can get. But yeah, this is it now. The LP is over, so to speak. We've done everything that I think is worth doing for it. So with my closing words here, all I really can do is just thank people for participating, be it in the threads, in various discords, or in the YouTube comments, anywhere, it doesn't matter. And most importantly, of course, just thanks for watching, and see you next mission. Whatever that may be, I don't know yet. No, it's not Super Metroid. And if it is, this wasn't foreshadowing. Anyway, see ya.